Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca Sides and I am General Manager at Indicate Mercedes-Benz in Warrington. As I said, welcome back. I've been flexing things up a little bit and doing things a little bit differently on my channel on my last post, and today I'm going to do the same thing. So usually I talk about cars. Of course I still can do that. I've still got lots of content to come on cars, but what I wanted to do is to try and give a little bit more information around a passion of mine, an incredibly huge passion of mine, which is that of sales. So on my last video I was talking about some of the key basics really around sales in basic, sales in general, and what I wanted to do today was to follow on from that and just to talk about probably one of the biggest things which is a handling process for salespeople, which is that of objections. Okay, so how many times have any of you salespeople out there heard, "Oh, I'm just looking. Oh, I haven't got time. Oh, I've only got 10 minutes. Oh, I'm in a hurry. Or I'm not buying today." How many times have we heard people say these things to us? Before I go any further, I just want to say, people will always say that they are objections. They're not objections. They are complaints, and they're complaints based on fears that customers have had in previous experiences when they've been in a sales situation. So say for example, you've gone into a shop and someone's come up to you, you're walking around a clothes shop. What's the first thing a salesperson says to you? "Can I help you with anything?" No thanks, I'm just looking. It's like an automatic response that comes out of our mouths. We don't even mean to say it, and it's an awful question which us salespeople should actually know better, because we shouldn't be asking such an awful closed question. But the reason why people say these things, as I've said, is because in the past they've had bad experiences whereby people have tried to sell to them, and more often than not people just like to be able to have a few minutes to look, to acclimatise themselves to the shop that they're in. I often find in the showroom, you know, you come into this showroom, it's such a huge daunting showroom, glass everywhere, high ceilings, all fancy, and I remember the first time I actually walked into the showroom for my interview, which of course I had to wait hours and hours for because I was determined for someone to interview me. Maybe I should do a video about that actually one day. But yeah, I remember when I first walked in, and it is actually quite a daunting space, and the same can be said when you go into high street shops. You know, they're very flash, they're very perfect, and sometimes when you go in, I know when I go into certain shops in town, I almost feel like I have to buy something, because otherwise people look at me and say, "So why aren't you buying?" So I think as salespeople we need to always be mindful of this from customers, and to be mindful that when a customer comes in, they instantly will have their defences up, and for us to know to not let these negative responses to alter our attitude. We have to know as salespeople, okay, well, the customers come into our business, they're here for a reason, and I'm here to help them. I just have to start off by getting a good relationship and then making sure that I can help the customer going forward. Okay, so the biggest thing that you need to do as a salesperson within a sales process is to remember that you are the salesperson, okay? The customer is not the salesperson, you are the salesperson, and you are there to control that sales process, because sales is a process, and it's a process which can be learned. And for anybody who says that they're natural born salespeople, I agree that people can be born with a natural kind of flair of, you know, a bit of charm, bit of personality, but sales ultimately is a process, and if you follow that process from start to finish, then inevitably a sale will always happen. Okay, so let me give you just a couple of, I'm just looking at a couple of things here I've got. So a couple of objections which we get. Okay, I'm just looking. My answer to that would be, okay, no problem. If you were looking to buy, let me just give you some ideas of costing, so you've got all the information that you need, so that if you do decide in the future to change your mind, then you've got the information. If someone says that they're busy, they've only got 5-10 minutes, no problem, 5 minutes is absolutely perfect. Let's get busy, let's give you the information that you need right now. If somebody says, "I'm not buying today," no problem. You've got the absolute right to change your mind whenever you want. For a customer to say those kind of responses, you have to be able to go, "No problem," and then to turn it round into a situation whereby you are back in control of that sale, and where you are making the customer feel at ease. Never ever fight over objections. Never be responsive whereby you can seem rude or arrogant. It's all about training yourself to control the sales process, to make sure that the customer feels happy and feels at ease and knows that, you know, you're there to help them. You're not there to try and make them spend all their money. You're just there to be able to help them. So just to go over those again, if someone says that they're busy, if someone says they're just looking, no problem whatsoever. Let me just give you all the information that you need, so that when you are at a time to buy, then you've got everything you need to go forward. Or if they're saying that they don't have enough time, again, no problem. It'll only take 5 minutes. Let me give you what you need. Because remember, customers would not come into your business if they weren't interested. Also, customers wouldn't call your business if you're a service provider, etc., unless they were interested. Also, customers would not be sending you messages on Instagram, etc., if you're an Instagram-based business or social media-based business, unless they were interested. So always know that you're in a position whereby you're able to take control of that process and to know that they're coming to you. I mean, there's a cold call section, I'll go over that next time, but this is about customers who are coming into you in this kind of environment. So just make sure that you remember they've come into you, you're there to help them, they want help, and that's why they're there. So just be at ease, be happy. I often find that in the sales process, some of my team, when I get new starters, they sometimes can be a bit taken aback at how confident, I suppose is the word to use, of customers, because sometimes I'll say the things that maybe they weren't necessarily thinking that they could say. If somebody says that they're busy and they haven't got much time, no problem, I'm busy too, we're both busy, excellent, no worries whatsoever. Let's try and see if we can get this done in 5 minutes then, so that we can both get on with what we need to do. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're both busy and that you're both there to get a process done. So sometimes you need to just have a bit of light-hearted play with a customer, and then that can put you both at ease, so you can of course move forward in the sales process. Okay, so when you look at customers who have a payment objection, this is one of the biggest objections I will ever have. So customers so often will talk about price, and they'll talk about how this is their budget and this is what they're looking for. However, the thing to remember is that the world is no longer sold on a price, it isn't, it's sold on a payment. So nearly everybody out there has a phone contract which they pay per month. Most people have a car which they finance, or they have a bank loan and they pay back on a monthly repayment. Most people have rent or a mortgage whereby they pay per month. I know that I have a gym membership which I pay per month. There's lots of different things whereby the world nowadays, we are on payments, we're not on price anymore. So when a customer comes into your business and sees a product for, I don't know, it could be a car for £25,000, it could be a handbag for £2,000, it could be a house for £500,000, or it could be a dress for £20, £30. You could be selling a service, you could be selling a phone contract. There's so many things you could be selling. It's always important to break that price down into a price. Make sure that when the customer talks to you about price, agree with them. Reassure them that you're listening to the fact that they have a budget, because the majority of us do have a budget which we need to work to each month, because of course we have other financial expenditures which we need to look after. So when we're buying things such as necessary products that we have to have, they come first, and then after those necessary products come the things that would be nice to have. So the nice shoes, the nice car, the nice etc., the nice lipstick, the nice perfume, whatever it is. But most people do have a budget, so you need to make sure that you're agreeing with your customer, that you reassure them, and that you assure them that you're listening. That's so important. Again, I keep on looking, I'm just going over my notes, that's all. Otherwise, I will talk for hours and hours and hours, and this video everyone will be bored. Okay, so if the customer talks about price, always agree. Always make sure that you know, and that they know, that you agree with them about their budget. But you will also often find that when a customer comes in with a budget, that actually that budget is somewhat under what they're actually willing to pay. But the reason that they're doing that is, again, because of previous experiences whereby they've had negative experiences whereby someone's tried to sell them something out of their budget, and then maybe 2 or 3 months into having that product, they haven't been able to see the value in it, therefore they then think it's too expensive, and then they start to get a hatred towards that product because it was too expensive. And again, that's only because of that value hasn't been built. So just make sure that you always agree with the customer. The other thing to make sure is that customers will always, in a sales environment, try to become the salesperson. So they will try to take control of the sale. They will almost try to say that, that what they're saying necessarily is right. Never ever disagree with the customer. Even if it's something that they're saying that is totally absurd, even if they're saying that your product is no good, or even if they're saying, I'd never pay that for that, agree with them. Just say, okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, no problem, but never ever disagree. Sales is not about being right. Sales is not about walking away from that situation and going, I was right, that customer was wrong, yeah, but they didn't buy anything from you. That is not what sales is about. Sales is about making sure that you are able to give that customer what they want, to make sure that they're able to walk away from that environment happy, and to make sure that after they've left your business, they then think, do you know what? They were a great salesperson, they've put me at ease, and then they'll go and recommend you on to others. Really, really important to remember. Okay, so just to recap on what we've spoken about today, we've gone over objections. Remember that when customers try to give you objections, it's not an objection, it's a complaint. It's because they're nervous because of past experiences where something has gone wrong for them in a sales environment. If they say that they're short on time, reassure them, no problem whatsoever. I'm here to help you. I can move quite fast with you as well. I can go as slow or as fast as you would like. And then if the customer comes to you with something negative about your product, or if they're negative about the experience, just agree with them. Don't start an argument. This is not a time to be arguing. A sale is a sale. It's not an argument. It's not a competition to win. So just remember those things for this section of the video. Okay guys, thank you so much again for watching. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please leave a comment below. You can also email me, rebecca.sides@inchcape.co.uk. And second to that as well, please make sure that you subscribe, click the little bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a video. And everyone, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.